Welcome to the Brainstorm with Sparks and Finn, a podcast where we brainstorm the science and philosophy of a new age, an electric universe age, and what it means for the human race, past, present, and future. I'm Finn, author, editor, and the chosen one who will bring balance to cosmology.
I must apologize for Professor Dave. He is an idiot. We have purposefully trained him wrong, as a joke.
If you've got an ass, I'll kick it! Oh yeah? Try my nuts to your fist type! Who's laughing now?
Please stop! Professor Dave sucks as a scientist! A child could debate him!
And I'm Sparks, and when I'm not dressed up as a girl hiding behind tombstones, I make fulgurites in my backyard. Yeah, that's the sound of them.
This episode, we've got the author of A Garbage Man's Guide to Life, gambler, entrepreneur, and architect of my chess-related PTSD.
Check me!
A great friend of the show, Norm LeMay. Today's springboard topic, no idea. In the spirit of the brainstorm, let's just see where this one goes.
Oh. So I encountered an interesting question on my last Thunderbolts in the comment section about redshift.
Let's hear it.
Somebody asked, if you can't trust redshift as a measure of distance, then we wouldn't know about the cosmic web shape because we used redshift surveys to map it out. And I thought to myself, well, that's a pretty good point. Maybe it isn't the cosmic web shape.
Well, I think you could still map it out. My understanding, you could still map it out, but the distances would be wrong.
Yes.
That's all.
So it would look like a more differenter kind of map or web.
Oh, no, I still think the shape could be fine, but it just wouldn't be the size. It'd be like looking at a zoomed out picture. The picture doesn't change.
Yeah.
Only the scale does. I think that's all it is.
Did you see the latest? Well, actually, hold on a second. It would be more than that because the redshift map would be showing all those quasars as being 90 million light years away, whereas the galaxies that they're right next to it showing is right next, like only a few hundred light years away. So that would be showing a different picture than what it would be if you were actually measuring the true velocities, if any.
Yes, that would be true. All right. Well, then it might just go back to what you just said, that it's just all nonsense and completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that the cosmic web shape would be something we would predict. I mean, it does kind of seem like plasma would eventually form that kind of shit out in space, but
I agree.
I don't know.
I tend to agree with your idea that we're just a part of a cosmic brain. We're just tiny little elements, and so that there would be synapses, the shape of synapses. I'm kind of with you on that one.
Although Claridge might be right, it might be a pancreas.
Or if we're in a pancreas, yeah.
Well, pancreas does the same thing. Like when it's in use, it lights up.
Right.
Really, any part of the body should light up, right?
Yes, it should. Absolutely. And probably does. More than likely does. Did you see, speaking of stuff lighting up, have you ever taken a black light outside and shown it at plants at night?
No.
I have done that.
I love black lights.
Oh, yeah.
What happens?
You need to do it. Let me show you. See how those they look green?
Yeah, yeah.
Here comes the black light.
Oh, whoa.
Purple.
Purple. Purple.
Yeah. Here's another one.
What kind of light would Saturn have been giving off inside of the? Oh, Norm's calling me.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Hey, Norm. Whoa, look at that. I'm on with Ben right now. He's showing me what black lights do to plants. Did you get your invite? Awesome. We'll see you inside. Oh. Yeah. Wow, that is incredible. All right, I'll see you inside, Norm. Bye.
So what I'm seeing is that the leaves that are getting the most sunlight do not turn red. It's the ones underneath in the interior of the plant that don't receive as much sunlight are the ones that are really, really, really bright red.
But why?
But see, that's a good question. My thought is that because they are starving for light compared to the ones on the surface, that the plant pumps up those leaves with extra chlorophyll, so they're extra sensitive. That's my guess. And
That's pretty smart.
Right. And so with that extra chlorophyll, it really reflects the UV light and makes them redder. In fact, we already know that this happens. Poinsettias.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that the red bloom on the top of a poinsettia is not a flower? That's just the topmost leaves.
Really?
And they are. And the way they get them that way is they cover up those top leaves for a month. Just completely cover them up. They turn red, and then they bring them out and sell them to people. And people can keep them alive all year, but then they're like, why don't they turn red next year? Because you have to put them back in the dark.
Interesting. So it's like almost, that's pretty impressive. So that means plants are kind of strategizing for the amount of light they're getting in their environment, which I guess is intuitive, but it's interesting.
They absolutely are.
That's correct. Cool. So what? So it turns them purple, ultraviolet light, but why?
Okay, so that goes back to, so this is just standing water.
Okay.
And there it is under UV light.
Oh, that's so cool. Because ultraviolet, I guess, is kind of a purple light. That's why they call it violet.
Yes.
So that's just what it's reflecting back. Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of whitey blue, but there's clearly crap in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a walk out just in our neighborhood a couple nights ago, and this is what we found. All these leaves are green, all of them.
It's like Avatar. I need to get a black light and do this. Take my daughter outside. It'll blow her mind.
So you need to get a true black light, not just like a black light laser, because I took my blue laser out thinking that it was UV. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, I like the old school ones with the light bar, like neon.
Yep.
I used to have all the neon posters and stuff in my room when I was a kid, and I had a black light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to it, but I'm gonna go look for it at my mom's house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would totally get that back. Absolutely.
Any luck with Norm yet?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
Very well. Me and Norm go way back. We're chess buddies. We play chess a couple times a week, or we used to. It's been a little slow lately.
But... Yeah, it's been very slow lately. And in fact, you have to agree.
Where did you two meet?
Our wives are both Thai, so we met hanging out at a Thai get together.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting wet.
And on our first meeting, I said something along the lines, imagine not being able to trust anything you've ever heard off the television or news, and he completely concurred, and we found out we were both equally crazy, and so
and see, that concept actually is kind of getting us to here. It's the idea that you know that there's more than there is, and but not knowing what the real answers are.
Right, exactly. And which is kind of tough, because then you're essentially reliving in real life the Emperor's New Clothes.
Yes.
You become the little child on the parade route who can see the truth, but no, you try and point it out to other people. They're like, no, 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 no. And then finally it starts to catch on, and people are like, he's empty, he's naked.
Yeah.
But boy, before then, you're just like, wow, beating your head against a brick wall.
Yeah.
Because you can see it's wrong. You can see it's wrong. You can see there's no clothes, but.
Yeah. And when the government is caught lying about so much stuff so often, I mean, the damage to society, or in this case, like a phoenix, it will probably burst out of whatever's left. But no one knows what to believe. So I think that's why you've got like all this flat earth and all kinds of zany stuff, because everyone knows what they're saying is bullshit, but no one's quite figured out exactly what the truth is.
Well,
you guys.
This goes back to what I've talked about before. It's like they own our vocabulary.
How
and
so?
the idea is that every the word conspiracy theory, okay, it gets certain connotations, but then medicine, we have a particular way of looking at things. We've learned to learn things in this language. How do you communicate the fact that yes, there's more here than we're being told, but I can't put it into words exactly, and it's not mechanistic. It's what you would call like it's almost poetry that we live in, as opposed to a machine.
Tolkien would have agreed. Arda was created by song, after all.
Well, that's it. It's and anyway, and I think in history, what they call that would be like you when you get closer to the truth, it's like coming home.
Or as Jeffrey Drum says, you get that full body chill when you hear something you know is true.
Yeah, that's exactly true.
And you can't discount that. You cannot discount that.
No.
In fact, I think that's the whole focus of, well, I don't know if it's a full focus of noetic sciences and Gnosticism, is just a feeling of knowing.
That's right.
But, there's a fine line between the feeling of knowing.
That's right.
And you know something that's true, and you knowing something that's completely bonkers.
Yeah,
it's
very true.
Is it God's voice or my own voice is the big question. But now is it plasma or is it me? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, the way I look at it is when the mainstream gets exposed for being a fairy tale, which I guess has happened quite a lot through history. Yeah.
Yes.
You get a period of explosive imagination where everyone's trying to figure out, okay, well, what is real? And I think that's kind of where we are now, but we have the benefit of having stumbled on the electric universe, which you'll see that all of our guests we bring on are interdisciplinary from different, they have their own fields, and they've all found the same processes at work in those fields. And here we all are.
That's right. And one of the nice things about the electric universe is that it is it's lodged in the electrical portion of that so firmly that things can be predicted, and it's actually it's more real than what we're being told when you actually sit down and understand the language of what we're being told.
That's why we're trying to push applied plasma cosmology for our acronym, because it's applied science. There's no theoretical anything. So if you can understand electricity, you should be able to predict what we see in space. But as Steve Smith said, nobody understands electricity. Not really. So it's an uphill battle.
I just got back from lunch with my ever-growing Electric Universe, or APC group. There's a bunch of us here in town that are all interested. Nice. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people at lunch today, which
We
was
should
up
start
from,
a group.
we should start
Sorry.
a group.
We should.
That would
I
be good.
Me and you, Norm.
Yeah, well, yeah, we really should.
We're
You
local.
should,
Because
since you're there.
Yeah.
yeah, see, I'm also interested in almost all the medical elements that this branches off to, because the very first time I ran into Dr. Tennant, I okay, and it's so funny. I mean, he talks about the teeth and them being circuitry that helps provide
breakers.
50 millivolts to your reproductive system of cells that keeps your body intact.
Yeah.
And true story, I went to my naturopath, and he said, well, you should probably take up this precancerous test. Okay, so I took it.
For your
And
mouth?
they
For your
said that
teeth?
they spotted cells that were associated with pancreatic cancer. And
Where?
so,
in your saliva?
No, I got a blood test.
Oh, okay.
I got a blood test.
Just a screening
and
thing.
in that blood, it's a screening thing, and it had cells that were associated with pancreatic cancer. So I thought, no problem. The first thing I'm going to do is look at my teeth. And I went to a naturopathic dentist, and they said, yes, I have inflammation associated with, like what we call germs, or I just call everything parasites now, even germs, because they're parasites. Anyway, I did have them in and around the teeth that are associated with the circuitry that goes to my pancreas.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I went and I found out what ivermectin level you should take for cancer, and an average ivermectin pill is like 16 milligrams. The ones that you take for cancer are 90 milligrams. And the level at which ivermectin has been tested for is up closer to like 200 milligrams. So it's safe up to really high levels. It's been tested. So I took that for 4 days. But the other thing I did is I went to a naturopathic dentist, and I had an inflammation in an old root canal, which is one of the indicators on one of the teeth that are associated with the pancreas. I got that cleaned up. I also bought a Rife machine out of Canada. Rife wave machine.
Yeah, I helped him test
Forgot
it.
to put in the crystals. Okay, turn it on.
You know what that is?
I do. I have one.
Oh, you do?
Doesn't everybody? That's the joke.
No.
Anyway, so I went through all of those things. I waited about 2.5 months. I retook the test. There was no indication of any of those cells any longer. And then I took it a few months back, a couple months away, and there was no indication of those cells.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I mean, this is real, you know. I mean, understanding our body, just at least the circuitry of our body, is so important. And then when you start understanding things like there's 2 books on breathing that were very popular a couple of years ago. And
breathing?
Oh my God.
Breathe, yes.
Okay.
A whole book?
And both of them talk about nitric oxide increases when you breathe through your nose at the proper speeds. Nitric oxide is just made. And here people talk about, why do we have our sinuses? You know, it's like it's for, I've heard through the years all sorts of reasons why we would have sinuses. Well, it's to make nitric oxide and other things. It's like
I haven't heard that.
The nitric oxide appears, but nobody says how it's made, and we have sinuses. So I put that two and two together. It's then I ran into Tom Cowan and his book that your heart isn't the pump, and then you look at the fact that the moving of your blood around your body is a sophisticated science in and of itself. And then you go to the fourth stage of water with
Gerald Pollack.
Who's the doctor out?
Gerald Pollack.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to see a picture of who I am. A marvelous thing. I mean, it's like,
Right.
But all of those things I kind of knew all along because I'd heard the little pieces of it, and those pieces made sense to me.
Exactly. I have reached out to Dr. Pollack a few years ago, and we actually email back and forth now every so often. He's still very busy with a lot of his work, but fascinating stuff. 100%. In fact, his whole idea that easy water is created by infrared light, which of course is everywhere all the time, made me come to the conclusion, like, oh, that's why we're alive, is because we have this light coming from the sun that just is all around us all the time, constantly energizing us. And I'm like, oh, well, there's the explanation for why mechanistic life works. Now there might be some bigger stories with some metaphysical stuff, but mechanistically you can see where the energy for life comes from. Easy water, from the light all around us.
I hadn't thought about that.
That's
it's kind of related, but last week or when we interviewed Steve Smith, I was depressed because he kind of laid it out that we're never leaving planet Earth, because if we do, we'll just drop dead. And I got to thinking about the little alien grays, right? And how some people surmise that they might not be biological beings. They might be robots, like a remote control mannequin that the entity that controls them drives around. Maybe that's how we explore space. Not in human bodies, but in
almost an avatar-like experience.
An avatar, yes.
Exactly. Putting on VR goggles and sending your little avatar out, you can see what he sees.
We may be relegated to that until we can find a planet that.
Here's an interesting thing. My cousin, quite a number of years back, dated a remote viewer who was stationed at the University of Washington.
That'd be scary.
Name. What's the name?
The name of my cousin?
No, the remote viewer.
I don't know. Okay. I can't remember who specifically it was. But the interesting stories and just the realization that a lot of what everyone discounts as real is far more real than we think.
I remember just before I hit the electric universe, I was listening to different scientists of every different ilk, mostly physics, mostly different ilk. And some of them were way out there and some of them were very, very mainstream. But as I entered into the electric universe, I had this shocking realization that the people who I thought were the fringe were actually the ones doing the real science. And it was the mainstream who was the pseudoscience. Right. And I was like, my head just exploded. I'm like, wait, what world am I living in?
Right. Welcome to Realville.
Not that every fringe scientist was right, but on whole, they were the ones doing the real science.
Oh, well, absolutely.
They were springboarding off of real things, right? Like not all of us have the mental acuteness to discover the roots of everything, but a lot of us can see, like like even a layman can kind of understand space is electric once they hear the concept just by real world experience. And so I think a lot of the fringe stuff is based on some of the right ideas. So at least they're going in the right direction. That's why I say a lot of this periphery stuff is just people who have not yet discovered electric universe. They're close. They've got the same forces, but they haven't honed in yet.
Right, and that's why I when Matt talks to me about these talks, I love it when the things that are related to electric universe come up, and
like
it
Eileen
shows.
McCusick?
Yes,
Yeah.
oh, absolutely, I loved that talk. That and the sensitivity she had in taking her tuning fork early on before she knew anything and knew that something existed that she didn't know about.
And not ignoring it.
Yes.
And not ignoring it and not just poo-pooing it.
Like a lot
That's
of people
right.
do. A lot of people do that, and then they forget all of like. You ever see bacteria on your eyes? Like if you look at the sun just right, you could see little bugs crawl by with legs and everything.
I know I haven't.
Have you never seen that? I get that. Maybe I have filthy eyeballs. I don't know, but I see that all the time. And then there was like sometimes I could see the entire sun in my sunglasses, and it's really strange. But you can look at it almost like you would look at it through a NASA camera or something. It's just like fully there, like little stuff like that. I wonder if people notice this.
You're not human, are you, Matt?
Yeah.
What's it? I'm sound and vibration, mostly sound.
Well, you and since both are the same, it's like understanding what makes which is part of the art of what's taking place here.
Right.
Someone in the comments is going to see those little bugs in their eyes, and they'll leave a comment. You'll see. I can't be the only one.
It's only you. No, but yes, Eileen. Norm, I don't know if you remember this, but and I went over this in the podcast with her, but I gave her a lot of crap. I was not a troll, but I was calling her out for her because I've seen her present on the Electric Universe, and then she started talking about it, and some of the stuff she was talking about, I'm like, that's not real, and I was calling her out, and she had the fortitude to not get mad at me, not to just go tit for tat, but just to explain her position, and that openness, that type of interaction completely made me do a 180, and I calmed down and I listened to her and I said, okay, I don't agree with this one part of it, but I see your point, and turned all the way around, and now I'm a client. She's worked on me. She's done her little magic witch voodoo stuff on me. She's done it with Matt, and damn, it's real stuff.
Norm wants to hire her, by the way. You got to get her his.
I've got to get some information because I would like to have that experience.
Norm, give me your phone number. I'll text you her contact information.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's my toxic masculinity, but I completely underestimated her going into it. But by the end, like what she said about what mass is just spun ether. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Like it's like little plasmoids forming, and the magnetic forces are going every which way, so you can't get near the thing anymore.
Absolutely. The plasma, the ether, out there, understanding, in here,
the air in front of your face is plasma.
It's so much to understand, because in the end with this, I want to be able to have a model in my brain as to how all this kind of works. As nice as the false model was.
You're right.
Because what I'm doing is, I've got to leave the all-knowing textbook of a 101 chemistry book and march out into the unknown. And there is no 101 textbook in the electric universe world. And that's what's got to be made.
There
We need
are
a
some
school.
there are some books out there, some actual physical books. I own them. I've read them. So
Right.
to say that there's none is not quite
No,
accurate.
there's no
Well, then you need to
textbook.
be teaching a
There,
class,
there's
Ben.
no book that sits that down and takes you through it like this is the way that it works. It's a textbook, you know. There are books that talk about it.
Well, there's
Oh,
Don
right,
Scott's
right,
books.
right.
Would you say
You know what,
Don
Norm? I,
Scott's
I
or
agree. I agree. The way you're describing it, that's
a big
absolutely
picture?
true.
Yeah,
It's
we need
true.
like a big picture guidebook that just like gives you a full picture view of it without necessarily going into the weeds too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of common now to know that these atoms are not like little universes with everything spinning around it, and it's all wrapped in a little box, the
Right.
way that we have that picture in our brain.
Yeah.
Right.
And to change people from where they are, those pictures have to change.
Yeah, because we're always saying like protons, neutrons, but those things don't actually even exist. It's really just sound and vibration. And like neutrons, how can you have no charge at all? That just seems weird.
All right. But then see, I have a vacuum in my brain and I want to know where they went because that was the basis of science and work together, putting chemicals together. You would decide you had to match those qualities in order to get a new compound and all of those things.
Ben, would I be accurate in saying that you kind of solved that issue of all these forces sticking together, kind of like how we envision molecules doing, when you showed that knot of steelies where you painted the magnetic fields, and then you could show where the next one would be able to fit in because of the alignment of the magnetic fields? That's kind of a good way that molecules
Norm, have you seen that?
together.
All right. Okay. Now, to a layman like myself, that's worthy of a show. Because that's like one of the fundamental foundational things.
Yeah.
Because we all went
completely
through
agree.
some chemistry.
Would Ito cover that with the structured atom theory?
Well, that is his stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's where I got it.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a show on the structured atom by Ito, and he breaks down this stuff. And I think between Ito, that's a good start for a vocabulary unique to Electric Universe, where I don't know how he's broken it down, but that seems to me where you would start calling things according to the electric model versus the other.
Norm, I'll give you a background sneak peek. Matt's already seen this. So these are just magnets. They're hematite, right?
Yeah.
And Ito's whole idea is that the nucleus of an atom is not just random crap slammed together. And it's also the whole idea that protons attract each other is just stupid. I mean, of course they don't attract each other. So Ito's idea is twofold. Number one, that there are such things as nuclear electrons. Now that's a whole new idea. We all say that the electrons are out here in a cloud. So here's the nucleus of an atom, anything, carbon, doesn't matter, lithium, and the electrons are out here. He's saying no. He's saying that there are electrons inside here that attract the protons. So the protons are not attracted to each other. They're attracted to the nuclear electrons. And he calls neutrons PEPs, PEPs, proton electron pairs. Okay. So that's the first idea he has. The second one is that the nucleus is not just a random jumble of crap, that it actually has very specific shapes. And those shapes are what cause the chemical reactions and nuclear reactions that we see. So, see how I'm creating a cute little flower? Okay.
Yeah.
So we call that,
and that's why they hold together too.
And you're going to see that in just a second. So, okay. So now we have, these are kind of hold. We have two of these. If we marry them together, we get, we get a beautiful sorry, this is a little bit tricky.
Well, I was never
Kinda-
good in labs, so
Yeah.
If we meld them together and we're good
If we meld them
sculptors,
together, then they start taking on a very symmetrical shape. But what
Okay.
what this always bothered me is you still can't see the magnetic fields. So this is what I did the other day. The red is North Pole, the blue is South Pole.
Oh,
And there's the same shape, what I just showed you.
Oh.
Those are, see how there's the little flower there
yes,
married with another flower there?
yes,
But now you can see how the fields line up.
yeah,
and Ben, that will adjust how other things fit to that,
It
which
does.
could provide shape.
It does. So if you go up the periodic table, this is carbon. So the next one up is going to join in one of the valleys, one of these tri-fold valleys. And as you can see, because of the poles, this one will not be, it's not as, see how it moves? It's
Not very
not
strong.
as stable. This is very stable because of the way the fields line up.
yes,
When you start adding stuff, some of these places are, see, that one's a little bit stronger now.
it's a
try and
weak
move it.
bond.
So that would, yes, we have weak, and that's what Ito's whole idea is wherever
Yeah.
these neutrons, proton electron pairs join up. Sometimes they're weak, sometimes they're strong.
Yeah,
But you don't need any garbage called the strong force to describe this. It's
That's right.
simple charge.
Where-
That's it.
Where it happens to fit. Yeah.
Where it
wow.
happens to fit. So
Oh, okay. Here's
I made a little video of this on YouTube. It's got over 3,000 views already.
Wow, that's
So-
really good. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
and
good.
see, that's you're. This is exactly what I think would fits with most people that are like me. It's like
Oh yeah.
I've been to school, I learned something, and you took the something that I learned and repositioned it,
Making strange.
Right.
and that makes change so much easier.
Right. Well,
Yes.
my wife's a biology teacher, and she tells me that teachers are taught to take something that their students already know and
Yeah.
build upon that. Don't just start ex nihilo. Don't just start from zero. Add on
Yes.
to what they already know.
Oh, that's smart.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So here's
That's-
a crazy left wing thing to say. If we were to zoom that molecular model way out until we are living on a planet, and we're going to assume that those molecular structures are universes or galaxies or whatever, would that make moons the peps?
I see where you're going with that as a correlation.
I
Sure, that's an idea worthy of looking at, but you got to realize too, and someone pointed this out in my comment section, that this whole idea that these are particles or balls is wrong from the get-go.
Yeah.
There's a phrase that says all models are wrong, but some are useful. This is wrong, and it's useful.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
Because
not that
protons
they're
are not balls.
yeah, they're balls of force, magnetic force, right?
I don't even know if it's good to call them balls of force. That's the
Well,
way we describe
We do
them,
know that nature works in spheres since we're living on one. The only question is does it still look like this when we go way down low?
Actually, we talked about this at lunch today, and we were talking about what is a proton, what is an electron, what is the shape, and we drew a bunch of different pictures. I think that ultimately, if we were to look at it and be able to see it, it would look like a toroid.
So what
That's
you
just my
might be
opinion.
looking at is the magnetic field. That should be the only way we can detect them anyway. They're too small for us to see, so we'd be detecting their fields, right? Well, wouldn't the magnetic field of a galaxy be a giant toroid?
It should be, yes. It should be. Woo! Norm,
As
you may
above,
have just been
so
witness
below.
to. We just figured out everything. Matt just uncovered
Yeah.
the secrets of the universe.
One of my hobbies is throwing dice.
Oh, it is. Like gambling,
Yeah.
or just literally throwing dice?
Gambling, and
Yeah.
the most important thing that a gambler can do is be sure that they take control of their ability to leave. Because when the environment is wrong, either internally or at the table, you know it. You always know it.
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling. And when I throw the dice, oftentimes I know what it's going to be before I throw it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he's not full of shit either. We've been playing
Yeah.
chess. We've been playing chess for years, and out of all the times I hold out the two pawns, black and white, he guesses correctly probably 98% of the time.
I believe it. I totally believe it.
It's ridiculous.
And but see, you can't. You can mind blow me though by what you say or how you treat your hands, and it will get my intention away from what I'm actually trying to look for.
Yeah, I can throw him off every once in a while, but that's fine.
He could throw me off, but that's what the world is like. See, it's always in this state of flux, so that even though I know, the reality is that if I was a perfectly toned human being that was perfect in every way, my wife, by the way, is Thai, and
cool.
I give her all of my winnings if I win. She
bet she
told
loves
me
that.
that was good for my mind because then I don't worry.
It'd be even better for your mind if you gave me and Sparks all your winnings too.
Are you kidding? And take the winnings away from his wife? Oh,
Yeah, I give
no.
100%. I give 100% to her, and it's really interesting because if I don't have something to give to her, I feel like a failure.
Oh,
Because it's harder on me to losing my money is like just part of having fun.
Yeah.
But she thinks it's hers when I win. So if I have nothing that I won, then she lost out.
Yeah. Well, you win the doghouse for the night.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's the up and down of marriage.
Okay, that kind of energy though in the universe, and you think of it in medicine even. I mentioned Dr. Tom Cowan actually in his new book on cancer mentions life force as being something that it goes unmentioned in medicine.
In Western medicine.
In Western medicine.
Not in Eastern.
Yeah. Not in Eastern. No.
And just think about what a hard job that is to crack. But this is the only door on the hallway that appears that people that go into it actually have any success in talking about what a life force is.
What is a life force?
What is a life force?
Life. Well, I'd have to pick up his book and see how he defined it. But what I would define it as that energy that comes to you and holds everything together. You know, that gets you gets you to your destination. Gets you to your destination. Gets you to your goal.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's a good way of looking at it. So when you say energy that comes to you and holds you together, let's go back to this.
Okay.
There's a toroid. This has another name that I love, and I'm trying to get it more into the lexicon. It's called a soliton. Yeah, there's yours.
Okay, I like that.
Oh. It's a soliton, which comes from the Greek or from the Italian, I think, from solo meaning by yourself. So it's a wave that's by itself. But the interesting thing about this is if this were a smoke ring, which is also a soliton, it has rotation, right?
Yes.
So there's motion coming up out of the top and into the bottom.
Oh, you're right. As it goes up.
So when you talk about life is an energy that comes to you and is self-sustaining, well, there it is. There it is. I think the energy at its base state, meaning protons, electrons, photons, whatever, I think they're solitons. I really do. And I think charge, and we talked about this at lunch today. It's a shame that three of us couldn't got together and talk about it. I think positive charge is just one pole. But this would be whatever motion or whatever is coming out of the top of a soliton is of course different than this side because this one's drawing inward, this one's pushing outward. I think that's what charge is.
Oh my God. That's so brilliant.
So
that's so brilliant.
Because look, if you had
every galaxy is doing that. Every solar system is doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they're
think
all
about
sucking stuff in the bottom and shooting it out the top. That's charge.
Eureka!
Because look, if you look at this from a purely mechanical way, if this is pushing out, it's not going to be attracted to another one of these that's also pushing out. Just like two positive forces repel each other. But if you flip this guy around, if this is another soliton here, and this end is the sucking end, it's going to be attracted to the pulling end.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. So what happens when they get close to each other, though? Do they stop?
So that's a great question. There's actually videos of people taking a water tank and shooting jets of ink toward each other in solitons. One's red and one's blue, and they crash them into each other. So you can literally see what they do. And that sometimes one will go in through and pass through it. Like one will get bigger and expand, and one will shrink. That's one thing. Another thing that they'll do is they'll crash into each other head on and completely dissolve.
Yeah.
It just depends on how the position of them. So if they hit it right, they pass through.
Okay.
Or what they're made of.
All right.
What they're made of could determine whether they dissipate.
Well, if this is just base energy, base universe energy, I don't know if we know what it's made of. I think it's all the same stuff.
Well, but the star that's at its center, some stars are different than others, right? They're made up of different elements or whatever.
Oh, okay. I see where you're. Yes.
And so if you think about that, every magnet, then, if that were true, is probably a solar system or a galaxy or something like that.
Right. Kind of looks that way.
And so every solar system is like an electric motor that is creating movement among all this cosmic stuff.
Right.
Along these filaments, along these Birkeland currents.
Right. So Norm, I want to get back to something you just said with your gambling, with your dice throwing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how old you are. How old are you? Like roughly?
Yeah,
50,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
50,
it doesn't.
55.
The point is, the point I was trying to make.
I wish.
Is that you can probably remember back to when you first started developing that ability to detect the dice and to get a feel for it, to feel.
That's absolutely.
How long ago was it?
The good thing is that I'm 80 in just a short time.
Awesome.
And I can do a 5-minute plank, by the way. So I'm in reasonably good shape.
I can't even get in position without falling over.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Wow.
So and I consider it more a meditation than an exercise.
That's actually a great way to look at it.
That's offline. But getting back to I have a real belief that the thing that makes us the best of our humanity is having that strong sense of attention or goal or direction of travel or whatever it is.
100% agree.
Everything else leaves us in chaos, which
100%
destroys agree. Where that life force comes from because it disturbs it.
So My brother told me years ago that he had this philosophy that he goes with the flow, which is kind of in essence what you're talking about. If
Feng
you
shui.
compare that, right, if you compare it to a river and floating in a river, you can just get in a raft and let the river take you where it wants. Or you can spend all your time doing this. And I think, Norm, that's what you said. When you're rowing, this is me rowing, by the way. When you
Yeah.
row, you're creating chaos and you're expending a
Oh
lot
my
of energy
God.
and you're fighting the nature of the river. Now
Need a
there might
bike
be
water.
times,
It's my finding that fluidity, that place that I'm supposed to be. And
say
and
it.
and and that's when I back in the 60s I was meditating because it was popular back then. And then it went out of popularity a little bit. But I remember I went. It was back in about 1985. I went to a workshop. I had just gone to work in a company my father owned. Working for your father is always, stress producing sometimes.
Bravo.
So they had us hold a small thermometer and get our temperature. And he put the thermometer down, and then he took us through a guided meditation where we held the thermometer off to the side and imagined that we breathed on it in a slow, warm breath, and that it heated it. And there was one girl in there who raised the temperature like almost 5 degrees.
Wow.
All of us got 2 or 3 degrees. I think what mine was like 3. And it's just it's directing your reality in a direction. And what this has to do with getting into the flow, you have to imagine that reality in order to be in the flow of that reality. You have to see it even though it's not there.
Yeah. Picture it, visualize
My
it,
You
sight,
have to
smell,
visualize.
sound.
You move into it,
and
and
for,
and that directs my energy in that direction.
And
And
Norm,
in gambling, it's when I'm in the zone.
yeah,
In
right.
in life, though, but I can actually see it. I've had those types of gambling experiences where, and that's what hooks people and turns them into So I want anybody, if anybody listens to this, don't think it's magical because you're taken out of it by some strange thing. Like somebody will say something on the table, or you'll throw the dice off the end of the table, and it just breaks the mood, and you lose then
or you bring me
because
with you.
you can't get it back together again. But I know that there are some people that are more lucky than others because they follow those certain rules, inside of themselves and create that imagery and move forward on it.
Right. And
And
the thing that's almost counterintuitive to that is that the only work you have to do, and you just said it, is that you have to create the image in your head, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
But most people confuse that with making a plan. Don't make a plan. The plan is the current in the river. That's already in place. Have the goal. And that's, I think, what Norm said. Create
yes,
the end point and have that very
that's right.
sharp focus in your mind. And the river will say, oh, that's where you want to go? Great, I'll take you there.
Yeah.
And it
That's
does.
right.
That's
It
one of
does.
those lessons Norm kind of imparted on me too. And that's how I got into the
Bravo.
whole electric universe thing, is just trying to visualize it taking off and becoming more mainstream and being a
Yeah.
part of it. And so I picture that every day, and it seems to be coming out. So we'll see.
Well, and that's to me the importance of this entire project and everything is to uh, bring back the magic that being alive really is.
Yeah. And once you
Absolutely.
understand we're in kind of a simulation, that we do create our own reality. Like one of the things Norm always does, he's the luckiest guy I ever met. And every time you ask him how he is, it doesn't matter what the hell just happened in his life. He's like, I'm wonderful. And he's always wonderful. And, I lived my life being a pessimist, saying, well, when you're a pessimist, life is filled with pleasant surprises. Well, that's true, but it does definitely take you in a certain direction. So now I'm experimenting in optimism. We'll see where it goes.
Oh,
Well,
welcome.
and that's the hard part. Finding that zone is very elusive. It's very similar to the tuning forks hitting that area above you where all those feelings are listed. And knowing it's there.
Right.
Because you can't see it and you can't, but like McCusick pointed out, I mean, she had to have been a very in touch person at the moment that she found that and knew that it was there and knew that her thinking about what was taking place had to be changed.
So many people would have glossed right over that. So many people.
And I think a lot of people have glossed over it because if you think about it, at the core, what Eileen is doing is using sound waves to facilitate healing. But guys, everybody who's ever listened to music and has their favorite song already knows this, that you can achieve a state change by listening to different sounds. We already know this. Mm-hmm. It's already right there. She has just taken further.
Yeah. I do my plank to Pete Seeger's "Roll Me Away."
Is that your favorite song?
That gives me another minute worth of energy. Just the fact that music, I'm tuned into it while I'm doing it.
Excellent.
And it's real energy. It's real not. Energy. And you it's like people say, well, yeah, you do that so you can relax, or you can do this, but no, we get real energy.
You do.
And I think this talking about infrared energy and the stuff that the fourth stage of water talks about is real energy.
Oh, it absolutely is.
And people with heat pumps don't know what they're missing. Because there's nothing infrared in a heat pump. And in the Northwest, we're sitting here with a cold winter.
And you're talking about like a furnace.
Yeah, we'd be better off with baseboard heating. It's got infrared. A heat pump doesn't. Real lights have infrared. New lights don't have any.
Oh.
Maybe.
That's why they wanted to ban the incandescent bulbs.
It might be. It very real might be. So there's a little device that I have downstairs in my lab. It's just a little piece of plastic. It's about that long, and it looks like a triangular piece of plastic. It's got prisms inside it, and so you could point it at any light source and look into it. It's like a kaleidoscope. It's literally like a kaleidoscope. So you can point it. But then it has a gauge on it that shows you where the spectrum of light that you're looking at is at. So people can say, "Oh, these lights are bad and these lights are good." You can literally take this thing. It's $10 on Amazon and point it and see if there's any of the bad frequencies or good frequencies there. It's just a little spectroscope.
Have you tried it?
Absolutely. In fact,
do incandescents.
Here we go again. Time to do another field trip with Ben. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry, speaking of energy, I'm on the ADHD side, and I'm very exuberant. Got a lot of energy, so I always gotta be moving around. So forgive me for constantly walking around during our call.
It's either that or you're just healthy.
No.
That too.
When you're healthy, really, I think you have abundance of energy.
I think it's on the obsessive side myself. It's like I'll get a text at midnight. Look what I discovered!
Oh, he's not lying. Okay, so that's where you look in.
Oh,
the lights coming in here. So
look at a incandescent bulb versus a. I guess we can get a look. All right, I see some rainbowy stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I can't see anything.
I saw
Oh,
it for a
hold on.
second.
Oh, there you go.
Your aim is atrocious, Ben.
Thank you. I know it's terrible.
There's some
Okay.
rainbows.
So if you get a
Right there.
spectrum, that means this is a spectrum of what you're looking at.
Correct. And because I can't hold it still enough, there's a
Yes.
gauge. There's a gauge right there that shows you where the light is at. So you can point this. You can just look at it and point it anywhere to see what lights. In fact,
Have you
this
found?
guy. Whoops. This guy's not plugged in. This is supposed to be one of those happy lights that produces all the
Yes.
spectrums.
Oh,
It doesn't.
Nigerian
My lab,
scam, eh?
it is. I mean, they market this as a full spectrum light. It's not, guys. It's
How much
not.
did they
So
get you
that's
for?
why it's relegated to your workshop out there.
Well, I actually had it sitting there because I wanted to bathe in it because I knew it was supposed to be good. But then I tested it with this, and I tested it against my CFLs up there and my LEDs over there.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm sticking with these.
So are you getting any infrared off the LEDs?
Infrared technically is below what you can actually see, but
Yes.
so I don't know how to answer that because you can't see what you can't see.
Oh, that thing won't detect infrared?
Well, it can, but you can't see it. It's like a kaleidoscope. You just look in there, it'll show infrared, but you can't see infrared anyway.
So it detects everything you can't see so that you can't see it.
You can't see what you can't see, right?
That's right.
I'm lost. I've got a unicorn detector that keeps assuring me it's detecting unicorns, but I don't see them.
Yeah, that's it. No, Matt, infrared light is all around us everywhere, but we can't see it. So what you need is an infrared detector, and that's not what that is.
An inforometer, right?
I've got that too. I just walked past it.
So how can you tell if Norm is correct? Of course you
can. I already know Norm is correct.
Oh, good.
I already know he's
the
correct.
Flux capacitor. Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's the downside of the LED bulbs is they don't give off infrared.
Maybe. That's why you got to test them. You can't just assume. You can't just
break out the interferometer, baby.
No, but
the interferometer does
know,
something different.
You do know that a light bulb that gives off no heat, it most likely gives off no infrared.
No, I did not.
I've never heard of a light bulb that doesn't give off heat. I mean, LEDs still give off heat, but not in the same way.
Well, it gives
very
off
little.
Very little.
Very little, yeah.
Yeah.
And not like infrared or incandescence, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I've
never burned myself changing out LEDs.
All right. But I've got
go ahead.
Shocked once in a while, but
the last thing I was going to say with Dr. Pollock stuff is after I read his book on the fourth phase of water, I realized that it's everywhere and it's constantly powering us. But I thought, well, let's see if I can do it more. So I went and bought a carafe and filled it full of water and just left it out on my countertop. So it's glass. And of course, glass is hydrophilic, which is what easy water adheres to. So that's been sitting on my countertop for a better part of a year. And then in my lab, I bought two red lights. So they're IR and red frequencies. Then I bought a cup that's a metal cup, a metal thermos with a clear lid. And so I'll just fill that full of water, put that right under the red light. And I'm drinking easy water all day, every day. Been doing that for about a year.
I bought one of the infrared blankets.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I take my body up to about 145 to 150 degrees. Wow. And you're so filled with energy after that you could run around anywhere, do anything.
Right, Matt. What was your question?
Go ahead.
I forgot.
You said something like, "Does it do anything?"
Oh yeah. So, will easy water display any kind of characteristic that normal water won't that you can actually show?
Absolutely. Charge. It's charged.
Oh,
You
so
can literally
just,
stick probes in it and measure it. You'll get a charge like a battery. Absolutely.
oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, the you have the edge of your chamber, then you have the first layer of easy water. The easy water is actually a channel where no particulate matter is in. And so one side of that is negatively charged, the other side, usually out in the rest of the container, is positively charged.
Oh, that membrane that forms
The
around it.
the and I in Tom Cowan's cancer book, he talks about the collapse of water when you go away from easy water, you have none in you. The collapse of water, because one of the things that goes on in cancer is that your cells start collapsing into themselves.
Oh, wow. That sounds awful. I know Jerry Tennant talks about cancer is he's never described it as collapsing him into themselves. He talks about it as a voltage change. You remember this?
Yes. Yeah.
That cancer is actually when your cells become positively charged, and that's not the natural state.
Yes.
They're supposed to be negatively charged.
Yeah.
So he says every cancer he's measured, the cells are like plus 20 volts, plus 50 volts.
Yes.
Healthy cells are supposed to be negative 30 to negative 50.
Is this because you've got free radicals floating in you because you're not grounded? Remember you gave me that electro blanket, Norm?
No, it's a grounding.
Grounding blanket. Yeah.
Oh,
grounding
yeah,
sheet.
grounding.
Do you do grounding, Norm?
Yeah.
Do you ground?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
salute
do
you,
too.
sir.
It's like I run into the things that I need just by chance.
No, it's not by chance. It's because you
Yeah.
live right. You do
Yes.
that. Yep.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
in fact, I've got all my supplements, and I will literally just go across them and try to figure out which I need to take. And I don't take the ones that I'm drawn away from. I'm like, I don't need that.
Norm, have you ever done muscle testing? Do you know what that is? Yeah.
Yes, that's yeah. That's
I think you can get to the point to where you don't actually have to physically do muscle testing. You're just so in tune that you can just do what you did. You just put your hand
that's
by
exactly.
it. That's the one I need.
If you muscle test just a few times, and then you kind of get it, you actually can feel better or worse, just intuitively.
Is this like the story about the dude that he was trapped out to sea on a raft, and he doesn't really have any water or food, but he managed to survive by catching fish, and then he would crave the exact part of the fish that his body needed. Like he's sitting there digging out the pancreas or whatever because it stores fresh water.
That's interesting.
Like your body kind of will crave exactly what it needs, which apparently I need Snickers bars and junk food all the time.
Well, no, your parasites need that.
Your parasites need exactly.
That's
Pat, you're confusing you with your parasites.
Gotcha.
I completely agree. But ivermectin, man, just take ivermectin. It's a horse tranquilizer. I mean, I've got some in my cabinet, and you just take.
I agree.
Tranquilizer.
By the way, I
dewormer.
I had a number of years ago. I had 2 racehorses.
Oh, cool!
And what I realized, they used red light therapy on horses to get them from one race to another, like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just put red lights in their stable, or did they use a blanket?
Like they had boots that would go on their legs in order to get the muscles back into condition faster for the next race.
Right.
Interesting.
And numbers of other things like that were basic non-drug athletic helpers.
Red light, grounding mats.
They didn't. Well, they're lucky. They don't wear shoes, or at least their shoes.
Their shoes are metal.
Yeah,
They're well grounded.
So they're okay on that. DMSO though is used in a lot of ways
DMSO.
on racehorses. Well, you can bring things in through their skin. They're great at getting rid of inflammation and just cleaning it out.
What is a DMSO?
DMSO is it was discovered in like 1859 in Russia. It goes through the skin. It comes from the forest industry. In the 60s, it was tested and found not proper for human use.
Boo.
Yeah, but
So this is, I'm just learning about DMSO right now. I have somebody else in the electric universe who reached out to me and wanted to just talk because they couldn't get enough EU stuff. But he was really big on DSMO. In fact, the first stuff that he sent me was on DSMO. So, Norm, anything you have to tell me about it, I'm listening. Tell me more.
well, yeah, anything that you've got to be careful with it because it's very aggressive in going in through the skin. Which means that if you want something to go through the skin, that's good. But if you have any contaminants, they make it too. And I think that's what scared the medical industry is that people would get something through their skin that they weren't supposed to have. But it is unbelievable at the ability to carry away inflammation. And if you take the O off of DMSO, you get MSM, which is a form of sulfur.
Oh, okay. That's much better.
That's the methylated one, right?
Your body needs sulfur for all sorts of cell activities. And I find it's kind of almost that in itself is a miracle too.
That's the methylated form of sulfur, and that is powerfully important. Absolutely.
Yeah. And but it comes right directly out of DMSO. So imagine taking MSM and then putting on steroids, figuratively.
Ooh. Yeah, you'd have to be careful with that.
Yeah, I know.
You get a Russiagate conspiracy or something.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. But anyway, it's very powerful.
Oh, different MSM.
Yeah, not
mainstream media.
Yeah,
I
know.
And
by the way, I'm not a doctor, and I don't know anything about these things.
Hey, don't sue me, bro.
Yeah, don't sue us.
Well, it just goes back to again something that Eileen, kind of does is she just checks on stuff and sees what works.
Yes.
I mean that's really what science should be anyway. We should never be following a dogma or belief system. Just go with what works.
That's right. And in fact, I'll tell you where my journey through discovery started. And
yes,
at the college I went to, before it started, we are you okay? Okay.
I'm okay.
Before we started classes, we went and met with different professors, and they told us what the most important thing we should learn is.
And that was what?
And I went to a history teacher, and he said, fish live in the ocean, whales live in the ocean, therefore whales are fish. He said, bad deductive reasoning is going to be the downfall of Western civilization.
Amen.
Learn how to watch out for it.
Mm-mm.
That's interesting. I posted a video on in my lab. I don't know if you saw this, but I've got like 16 monitors everywhere where I monitor different stuff. And one of them is the live feed camera from the International Space Station. It's looking down the Earth. It's really fun to watch, just really cool. But the other day, the sun was exactly behind the camera. And so it was reflecting off the surface of the Earth. And so it was really cool to see it because it was over land. And I'm like, wow, but as soon as it went over the ocean, it disappeared. And I'm like,
Oh, that's weird.
what? I was like, what is that? So I recorded that video, put it on Facebook, and holy crap, I have never had the plethora and scope of comments that video took. I mean, I had people calling me like, how many times have you been dropped on your head? How come you don't know this? I'm like, whoa, didn't say I didn't know it. I just posted a question. And, I just said why, just wanting to see what people would say. Some people, put out some ideas, but Norm, Matt, the range of answers was all over the board.
Yes.
So when you say people lose the ability to do deductive reason, I got evidence for that, because man, I saw stuff that was clearly logical and stuff that was just made up whack stuff. And you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Why does it vanish over the ocean but not the land?
Not sure. But specifically, it's the fact that the angle of refraction doesn't line up with the camera lens. So if you could draw a light ray from the sun to the ocean back to the camera, that would be offset. That's what's close to happening.
Is it because different
diffused?
Is it because different colors of light bend at different angles because they're different sizes?
That does happen, but that doesn't explain why you can't see the sun reflecting off the ocean.
Unless it's a different color because it's coming off the blue ocean, so it's refracting away at an angle where you can't see the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, I guess I'm one of those myriad of unintelligible comments.
I don't know. I don't know if that's unintelligible.
The importance here is, and then I could also say maybe if it was direct sunlight coming off the ocean, it'd be too strong for your camera, and it wasn't at the point that it could pick that up. It may be just the camera's fault, not the ocean's fault.
That's my other thought. Exactly. Norm, that's my other thought.
And that is the concept of the it's like what is the mechanism and who is adjusting it? Is it with the receiver or the pitcher?
That's really weird.
But Norm, it goes back to what you just said, that if people lose the ability to deductive reason, I think we're screwed. Right. I think we're screwed. And that's all this is.
Well, I don't know that people have ever really had the ability.
When their lives depended on it, they were much closer.
Yeah.
When it's something that's told you as a representation of the world you live in, it's easier to take because it doesn't have a direct reference to how much money you make or whether you're going to eat tonight.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah. They say that the birth of the priest class and science class only came after we learned to produce enough food that not everybody needed to hunt. So that makes some sense. You have to have free time to be able to think about stuff.
Yeah, and that sensitivity to how to ask questions goes away. I mean, a narrative is a story that has no details because it's not alive outside of its own narrative.
That's an interesting way of saying that. But that the idea that details get lost when you don't, it goes back to the simple phrase: if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah, and if you don't carry it into the narrative, it's like, well, how can I say you're not wrong? I don't know enough about what you're saying to say anything.
Okay, exactly. I see what you're saying.
Electricity cannot exist in space, but gravity is not strong enough to hold everything together. Therefore, black holes are real.
Yep, that's exactly. That's a great example.
That is exactly because the scientific method is based on observation.
Well, it used to be,
and observation has been left out many times.
Yeah, now they observe the computer models, and they
observe the dogma.
Yeah,
they read the dogma.
Expect nature to conform.
But but if it were only observation, my whale would be a fish.
Very true.
Yeah. If you
So
look at,
so
go ahead.
So how do we get the ideas of the electric universe out to the unwashed plebes, the masses? I like the idea of a school myself.
Well, I like it in developing the discipline of a school,
Mm-hmm.
and the discipline of a school starts with a language. It's just simple things that we use are oftentimes used differently in different settings.
Mm-hmm.
So that in the setting of environmental, the electric universe, what are your definitions, and what is an example of that being used
Right.
in that?
Well, you know how
form?
the best way to create that, I think, it's what Michael Claridge said. The problem with the EU, the reason we're not a full, complete model, is because we always interpretate the mainstream's interpretation of the data. And what we need to do, it's a manpower issue. We need to be able to have a school setting where we're producing scientists for Electric Universe who are interpreting raw data. And that's like, we're still in the conceptualize phase, but we need to work on the producing actual results phase. And when we're actually looking at raw data and we're fitting it into the electric universe, then the glossary, the definitions will arise from the work of the people doing it.
I like to think
Does
so.
that make sense? Yeah.
I like to think so. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. So there's, I don't know if Norm, if Matt's told you about this, but right down, I live on the same road as a theater, and it's a live theater, but they have just opened up April 1st, this whole, I don't even know what to call it yet. Talk about losing the words for it, but they have invited people from the community who want to teach their speciality or their point of view for the world to come in and offer classes at that theater. So when I found about that, I immediately, I know the theater owner really well. I've done a lot of plays and whatnot, and he and I are pretty good friends. In fact, I invited him out to lunch today, and he was just putting together another play, so he couldn't come. But I've said, yes, I want to do this. So Matt, has talked about forming a school. You've talked about forming a school. I'm doing it right now. I'm literally taking steps. I've already advertised to the Wasatch, what my local homeschooling association is called, the Wasatch Homeschoolers. They have a Facebook group. Great. Yeah, they've got a Facebook group, and I've already advertised on there saying, look, we've got science classes that are going to be available starting April 1st.
Oh, wow.
It's been pushed back a little because the theater was a little slow in their rollout of this program. So they announced it for April 1st, and it's still kind of rolling out, but I'm ready. I'm sitting right on the precipice, ready to go. It's like, okay, you want classes for science? You want EU classes or PAC or whatever we're calling it now? APC?
Yeah. APC.
APC? We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
That's
so
awesome.
if you guys want to be a part of this, come on board.
All right.
Come on. And I don't know how you would do that from where you're at on the West Coast, and I'm here in Utah, but I don't know. But
talk
about it.
One thing we could do is we could do an online curriculum too.
Well, and that you talk about homeschooling. That is really that's the simplest way to start out, because you don't want to spend your money on brick and mortar kinds of stuff.
Right.
You're really, it's an exchange of ideas.
Yeah.
And you don't need brick and mortar necessarily to do that. Oh, the other thing that's really cool about this is that the owner of this theater has his top passion is to broadcast all of his stuff. So he has filled this theater with cameras and streaming stuff. So
you could stream classes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, you
That's
could do
his.
an online curriculum that way.
Yep.
That's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
Yep. So he just built a podcasting room too. So he's
nice.
got this Norm. You should see. I should send you the picture. I'll send the pictures to Matt, and he can send them to you. You got to see this.
Yeah.
It's an old train warehouse, or like it's built right next to the train tracks.
Wow.
So they would bring in supplies from the railroad, store them in the warehouse, and then distribute them. Right. So back in the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
They took that warehouse, and the outside is still the same, still just bricks. It doesn't look like anything, but the inside is spectacular. Every single little room is designed in its own way. It's almost like an Airbnb, or it's like a bed and breakfast where each room has its own theme.
Oh, that's so cool.
So there's an 88 seat theater in one half of it. There's a ballroom dance floor in another half, and then there's just these little rooms off each side that just are really. I'll send you the pictures. You got to see it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But then there's cameras. Cool. He's got cameras everywhere.
Oh,
he loves
that's really cool.
So what about this thought? If you offer electrician degrees and maybe electro engineering degrees, you're a trade school. And if you're a trade school, that would open us up to federal funding because they're starting to fund trade schools like crazy right now.
Didn't you tell me that you had a friend that could teach that class?
I do. Yeah, I know a master electrician that can certify electricians. And he's all on board to do it too.
Could he do it? Is that something you could do online?
Remotely? I suppose you probably could. I don't know why you couldn't. They do offer online courses that are accredited.
Have you ever heard of that, Norm? Is that a thing?
I think that would work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's more to getting an electrician's license. I mean, you have to have physical.
I don't.
But that would be more a networking thing. Like we could set up masters. For
the other thing is you can run part of the course online, and then you can I have people come in for a workshop to finish their the course.
Yeah.
Or you could fly out to them if you had enough students in a common area.
Or hire localized instructors, kind of like a satellite operation. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, food for thought. Awesome. Well, fun conversation. We've been going at it for a while, so let's wrap it up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, some of us have other appointments to do today.
I gotta go make signs.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming on, Norm.
Well, I thank you for inviting me. It was a fun conversation.
It was.
I like this one.
It was indeed. Norm, it's very nice to meet you. And before I forget again, thank you for your contribution. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I know Matt gets to play with it, but it affects me too. So thank you.
It's a big help. It's a big help. I can blow out these things so much faster now. All right, guys.
Nice. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Brainstorm with Sparks and Finn. Hope you learned something new or found some food for thought. If you did, take a second to smash that like and subscribe button and consider joining our Patreon to help Sparks and I spread the word. And then join us next time as we explore this amazing electric universe. Cheers!